Good morning, warrior. Guess what just happened? Kind of excited about it. Kind of pissed. I don't know quite how I feel about it. Because this is what I wanted to happen. So I got my bike stolen. So this is Coach Spiegel here, WarriorResults.com, where I help husbands lose weight, pack on muscle, build muscle. Excuse me, same difference, and get abs. So anyways, I bought a new bike a few months ago, and my old one was damaged. It got a flat tire like the second time I was riding it. It got a flat tire, and so I was so mad. This is the previous bike. So it was so mad. This is what this means, dude. I got my bike stolen, dude. I'm like, ah. So I was this is the first bike that got stolen. I bought it, and I was riding a couple times to the gym. This is back when I was very sporadic about my gym going. During the 6 years, I'm going to share with you why I'm talking about this with you today. Why I got my bike stolen and what it has to do with today's topic, and getting fit, motivated for fitness motivation. So, anyways, I got the bike. I was on my way back from the gym. This is where I was sporadic with the gym going back during the 6 years. I was doing 90% of nothing and getting worse and worse every year, putting on the dreaded chubby husband body. So I was riding on the way back from the gym, and the tire popped, boof, and I had to walk like 2 miles or so-ish on the way back. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, ah. So I ended up replacing the tire on it, and but the link wasn't quite there, so it kept slipping. So whenever I was biking, it kept going, and it was super annoying, super troublesome. I couldn't go on long bike rides. I couldn't do anything like that. And I'm sure there was a way to fix it, but I was too lazy and didn't know enough. I could have just dropped it off at a bike shop, and have them fix it. But I was looking for an excuse not to bike, and I found it. So a couple months ago, when I bought this new bike, and I started biking everywhere. That's why I'm wearing this vest here, 30-pound weighted vest. It's pretty cool. It's got a little pockets on the back, so I can put something in it like that. But it's behind me, so I'm like, I guess it's good. I think I got it on the right way. Buckles in the front, right? So maybe I got it on backwards. I don't know. So the old bikes, I bought the new bike, and the old bike, I didn't put it out in the street. I didn't put it like out where the garbage takes it. I just put it on the side of the house, and I just let it sit there. And it was there for, I don't know how long. I just noticed today. I'm like, oh, the bike's not there. Maybe the wife did something with it. Maybe, but I looked in our storage, outside storage shed, and it's not in there. So I'm like, dude, the bike's gone. My bike got stolen. I'm like, where did it go? I just noticed it today. Maybe it was there for weeks. Maybe like, I'll ask wifey if she noticed anything. This is, what this has to do with today's talk is I noticed, it was 6 years. I alluded to it earlier. So I got married, used to be super fit, used to be super hot, used to be chiseled, used to have abs, and was a bodybuilder, personal trainer at the club, all that action. Found the love of my life. She was my client for a little while, and we just hit it off. We just fell in love with each other, and we ended up dating and got married. And basically the moment I said I do, my chubbiness started growing. Should be this way. My hotness was going this way. My chubbiness was growing. And over the course of 60 years, it was very sporadic. It was like I should do something about this. I kept putting on more and more weight every year. And I'm like, okay, I should do something about this, But here is my, let's say, ideal. So I started off, normal people have like a before and after, right? Before and after. They're fat, and then they're hot, right? So I started off hot. I don't know if you've heard the guy, I forget his name, Drew something. He goes fit to fat to fit. And so that was kind of like me. I was hot, fit, fat, fit. But prior to that, I was fat. So I was fat to fit. So then that was me PTing, bodybuilding. And then I got married, got fat. So this is over a course of 6 years. And then now back to fit again. Okay. During this 6 years, okay, so that's my journey. Fat to fit, fat, fit. Nope, I got that. Don't worry about that. What this has to do with that bike that got stolen. During the 6 years, I basically forgot who I was here. Personal trainer. There's a whole bunch of pictures of me doing bodybuilding shows. I just avoided looking at them. I stopped like being that person. I started being this person, and I just kind of like me. There's a story of there's two frogs, and they are you start a boiling pot of water. You put a pot of water. This is called a slow burn, and you put this pot of water on the stove, and you turn it on really hot, and you wait till it's boiling, and then you throw a frog in there, and the frog will bop in and then bop back out. They're like, oh, get out of there, it's super hot. The other frog, you can put that pot of water there, and it's lukewarm, it's like normal temperature. Put that frog in there, and then turn the stove on, and then let the water boil up, and the frog will eventually burn alive in there, because there's no that sense, that difference in there. There's a better way to put that. I haven't told that story, I think, ever, so I don't know if I did it right there. But you get the idea, right? You get the idea? So that was me during the 6 years. It was that slow death. It was that slow burn death. And I basically avoided mirrors, I avoided the scale, and I just didn't know how far I was going. Like, I would go through these little phases during the 6 years where I was just like, oh, I should lose weight. It's usually resolutions. I would, like, join a gym. I would start a diet. And it was just like I would catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. But I avoided mirrors, avoided looking at myself like the plague. And so it was just this, all of a sudden, it was November 2019 when so I'm 60 plus pounds overweight at this point. And it makes sense, right? So I'm 60 pounds over the course of 6 years. That's only 10 pounds a year. I kept kind of like going back and forth, gaining 10 pounds, losing 10 pounds, gaining 12 pounds, losing 10 pounds. But over the course of over 6 years, that's only 10 pounds a year, right? 1 pound a month, little under 1 pound a month. So that's not, horrible. It's not like Thanksgiving or New Year's or Christmas where you put on, you have a great night of drinking and you eat a whole bunch of pizzas and Subways and you put on like 10 pounds in one night. Like, no, this is over the course of a slow year. So this is a very slow burn death where I just didn't notice it. It was just kind of like, do. And it reminded me when I saw that bike out there, I'm like, dude, the bike's gone. Where'd it go? How long, when did that happen? I'm just noticing now, like, what just happened? So it was just kind of funny like that. I have things in your environment where my lesson, my fitness motivation tactic, if you will, to pass on to you, is to have things in your environment to remind you on your journey. So you start off with the journey. You start off with your desire. What do you want? What do you want? And for me, it was to be the hot husband that my wife deserves. So on my journey, as I was taking action, I was showing up to the gym, as I was eating the right foods, avoiding the wrong ones. We'll talk about diet and nutrition some other time. But basically, it's just taking the action, taking the steps to get this. Where am I going? It's kind of like like you're climbing a mountain, you can see the top of the mountain, or you're walking through a tunnel, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you need something to remind you of that. So I had lots of pictures. That way I never wanted to fall back to this. So here I am now, right? I never wanted to fall back to this. Get farther away from this, get closer to this. How can I have things that remind me of that? I took all the pictures from my fitness, super fit days, from my personal training bodybuilder days, and I just kept them on my phone. I just kept looking at them. I kept being reminded. I obviously love my wife, so I constantly reminded myself of my marriage vows, my movements going forward as far as strengthening our marriage. I had all the clothes from my fit days, like the skin tight shirts, and then I also had pictures to remind me of this too. Oh, excuse me, of this, the fat. I'm like, I'm never going back there. We talked about that before, the Fast and the Furious trick. And you're just constantly, that way you never run into that slow burn death. You kind of like meander. It's kind of like drift. It's like you're driving a car and you kind of like, you're like, don't know where you're going. You just kind of, right? Drift. You don't know where you're going. You need direction. You need this is where I'm going. This is what I want. And here's the actions to get there. Cool? Can't believe someone stole my bike. But joke's on them because the bike is damaged, beat up. Can't wait till they like, is it wrong with me to like, that's why I'm like slightly pissed. I'm like, someone had the nerve, even though that's what I wanted, I left it out. I was just like, let me see if someone steals this. But someone walked onto our yard, grabbed the bike, put it in their truck or whatever it was, and then drove off. Can't wait till like they hop on the bike and the is it wrong of me to like they get hurt? I don't like things getting stolen from me, even though I wanted them to. But is it wrong for me to like them going down a hill and they're going up a hill and the pedals start slipping and they're like, oh, and then they fall off and hurt themselves? Is that wrong? Is that wrong of me to like go out there like, oh, I got my bike stolen? Oh, even though it's what I wanted, I just can't help those feelings. So anyways, it's been awesome being with you, Warrior. Be well, and we'll catch you in the next one.